recruiting this family, so sorry I'm a little late. We're pleased with the win. I'd probably substitute a little early in terms of our execution, but we're very pleased with the win. We had to win this game with defense early on because our offense wasn't there. And that's a good thing about this basketball team. We've won some games with our offense, we won some games with our defense. So we can play fast and we can play slow, and that's the nice thing about this team.
Yeah, Rick, I wanted to ask you about that, because obviously, it was, you just never really got into a rhythm, it didn't seem like, in the first half offensively. Is there anything you can say to your guys, when that's happening, to kind of get them to
I said in the timeout, I said, look, they've got 14 points, and it's a defensive win. And I told them, when we won a national championship, we had to play Wichita State in a bloodbath, and then against Michigan, we were able to go up and down, fast break game. I said, defense is going to determine who wins this game. So don't worry about your offense right now. Move it, try to get the best shot possible, but play defense. And what broke the game open were all the steals on the press. Well, we got the dunk, we got a three, and that broke the game open. So sometimes it's your offense, sometimes it's your defense.
Is that something that's changed about your team during the season? Because I know back in November, you were saying we weren't ready to do this, do that, some of the stuff you've done in the past. Is that?
I've said that for 40 years.
No, but I mean, has this team changed? I'm saying.
Yeah, I think every team early on for me, this team is playing a little bit better than most of my team. Most of my teams don't start to play well until February because of all the different defenses we put in. We don't have as many defenses now. We had a matchup zone that we don't use anymore, and that takes time. So they're progressing. They're not, I tell them all the time, out of 10, they're a 5-6. And I want them by mid-February to get to a 6-7, 7-8. I said by March I want you 8-9. So we're working toward that goal. We're not there yet.
What's the difference between that 5-6 and?
Well, we do clips called the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we splice together all the good clips, all the bad clips, and the ugly is sort of a funny thing. If somebody falls down, there's one or two of those. And like last game, we won, had a good victory, lopsided victory for us, but it was 34-34. 34 good clips, 34 bad. When you get to 75-25 or 80-20, that's when you know you got a real good team.
Coach Ryan Myers was the spark plug in the second half.
And Dylan.
Yes, and as always, Dylan bringing the momentum. What did you think of the second half momentum swing?
When we moved, I wanted to get Walter off the point, and I just tried Ryan at the point. He's been playing the 2 guard the whole season. And Ryan was fabulous in the last game, and he was fabulous again tonight, playing the 1. So it's really helped us having him play the backup 1. And he was terrific, and Dylan was terrific.
And is that something you're going to look to do more often going forward?
He's going to play the point going forward, yep.
Obviously, Van Eyck came back in. Did he seem like okay after the game after taking that fall?
Yeah, he was just looking for an ovation.
Yeah, and you went with Trey over Shema in the second half. Is that?
I just wanted to get him some time.
Okay.
He hasn't played lately. I wanted to get him some time.
Rick, when a team plays its B or its C game like yours did tonight, but still manages to win rather handily, what does it say about how far they've progressed?
I think defensively it says a lot because our deflections are really, really high, off the charts. I mean, we had one game 49, and I think I had that one game in Kentucky, and that was the greatest team, one of the greatest teams of all time. So our deflections are real high, we're very active with our hands. But we're still nowhere near where I want a basketball team. So I'm comparing Louisville, Kentucky teams. I'm not comparing, and even Providence. I'm not comparing them to Boston University. It's where we're trying to get this program, but we're nowhere near the Louisville or the Kentucky. So we got to get it to that point.
What were your impressions of Siena? They guarded you pretty hard in the first half. And
Yeah, we know they're a good team. They've got a lot of transfers. I think 8 or 9. I think I don't know the exact number, but we know they're a tough basketball team. They play hard. They shoot it. I thought we did a fabulous job taking away their 3, and that's we said if we get our deflections, we take care of the backboard, and we stop the 3. We got a great chance of winning. To be very simple.
What do you make of some of the players that we've spoken to over the last week, kind of outwardly talking about going undefeated in league play?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's very, very difficult to do. but it gets them to understand. I think what I tell them about that is, I said, it's not probable, it's possible, but the way to have a chance of doing it is you have to have great respect for every team you play. And they do. They had great respect for Siena. They only had 1 day prep and they prepped hard. They had great respect the other night. They have great respect for St. Peter. So I think the only chance you have of doing something like that is to respect every opponent you play, and they do. Now, do I think it's possible? Yes, and do I think it's probable? Not in this league.
Coach, on Sunday you talked a little bit about Loyola Chicago being a bit of a model for you. What is it that
That's
they?
one of the schools. Dayton, Loyola, Chicago, some of the really good mid-majors that do it recruiting-wise, do it with their program.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what is it that you want to emulate of those programs?
Well, I want to get it to where you can't get a ticket to a game. I want to get it to where the fans travel to games. I want to get it to the point where we have pros playing in the lineup. And that's what they do. I think the number one, well, I don't know where Toppin was drafted actually by the Knicks as a
I think it was 8.
8. So, you want to get draft choices. And if you get it to that point, we've already changed the facilities. Now we got to change our fan base to where they travel, sell out every ticket. That's something that Siena has over every team in the league. They have an awesome fan base, and we got to get it to that point. And it already should be there, because you're talking about the job that Coach Klus did before me was sensational. They won 6 out of 8 NCAA tournaments, and it should already be there, but it's not. So we need to get it there.
Anything else?
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.